Halloween! I hope you're getting excited for the Halloween season this year because today we're making DIY vegan Halloween treats that are really festive and fun. They're super cute, they're easy to make, and they're perfect for little kids, but also big kids like myself, or yourself, depending on how old you are. I just turned 30 this month, but I feel like you can never be too old to celebrate Halloween. So let's get started with these fun Halloween recipes. Alright, so we're going to start off by making some frozen ghost banana pops. And this recipe could not be simpler, and it takes just 4 ingredients and about 5 minutes of prep work. They kind of remind me of chocolate-dipped frozen bananas, but they're healthier and still really delicious. So I'm going to show you how quick and easy this recipe is now. Pro tip, most monkeys actually peel bananas from the bottom, not from the top like we humans do. It's a lot easier, so try it out. So now I'm just going to chop the bananas in half and insert a popsicle stick in the rear of the banana. No dirty jokes over here. And we're just going to partially freeze it for about 30 minutes before we move on to the next step. I let the bananas sit in the freezer for about 30 minutes, and that's just to harden them up a little bit. And now we're going to dip them in some plant-based vanilla yogurt. This is an almond milk-based yogurt. You can use any vegan yogurt you like. And I'm using the slightly sweetened version so that I don't have to add any sugar. And then we're gonna add some shredded coconut, and we'll make little ghost faces out of chocolate chips. If you're using mini chocolate chips like I am for the ghost face, they can be a little hard to handle because they're so small compared to your fingers, so I find it helpful to use a pair of tweezers to get it a little more precise. Now we're going to be making some Halloween caramel apples, which is a spin on the traditional super sweet candy apple that you find around Halloween that almost always ends up stuck in your teeth. This version is a little bit healthier, but I don't want you to think that it's a health food by any means because it's not. There's a lot of sugar, but it's Halloween, so you know, everything in moderation except on Halloween. But if you're looking for a healthy raw vegan caramel sauce, I have a recipe for that, and I'll put it right here. For this caramel sauce, we're going to treat it like a regular caramel sauce, but instead of milk or cream, we'll use coconut milk, and instead of dairy-based butter, we'll use vegan butter. I'm going to start by turning the heat on the stove to low, and once the pan is hot, we're going to add 1 cup of organic sugar. So you're going to want to whisk this pretty frequently for about 15 minutes until the sugar caramelizes. It'll be liquid, it'll be an amber golden color. And you want to whisk it pretty constantly so that it doesn't burn, especially after you add the butter and the coconut milk. It can harden really quickly, so make sure you're whisking constantly and you're on low heat. After I added the coconut milk and butter and melted the caramel sauce, I took it off the heat to cool down a little bit. And now I'm going to add just a little bit of vanilla extract and some sea salt. And then for the toppings that we'll roll the apples in, we have some homemade granola, some shredded unsweetened coconut, some crushed Oreos, and some mini vegan chocolate chips. When you're making these caramel apples, feel free to use as much caramel sauce or as little as you like. If you're trying to limit your sugars, just use a little bit of caramel sauce and try to stick to whole foods toppings like dried fruits or nuts or seeds instead of the Oreos and chocolate chips that I'm using today. Tips for eating a caramel apple. Ladies, pull your hair back or tuck it into your shirt. Have a napkin handy. And don't be afraid to get messy, because you will.
That's really good. That's really messy.
Now we're going to be making some jack-o'-lantern brownies, and these are super simple to make because I'm taking a bit of a shortcut. I'm using boxed brownie mix because I want to show you how easy it is to veganize Halloween treats. And I'm using a boxed brownie mix from Trader Joe's. It doesn't have any animal products in it. Of course, the instructions tell you to use butter and eggs. So today I'll be using vegan butter and some applesauce instead of the eggs. Then I'm going to add an applesauce instead of the eggs. You could also use flax eggs or chia eggs. When you're replacing eggs with applesauce, you want to use usually about 1/4 cup of applesauce for 1 egg. Now I'm adding the second box of brownie mix because I'm doubling the recipe. So the box calls for an 8x8 pan. I'm using a 13x9 pan, so I'm just doubling it. While the brownies are baking in the oven, we're going to go ahead and get started on our sweet potato frosting. And we're going to be using some baked sweet potatoes. I just baked them at 400 degrees Fahrenheit or 200 degrees Celsius for 45 minutes until they're soft and gooey. And then I'm also adding some maple syrup, vanilla extract, melted coconut oil, and sea salt. And then I'm going to be adding some coconut cream. That's the hardened, chilled part of a coconut milk can, or you can buy coconut cream in the store. I just took the brownies out of the oven and I let them bake for a little longer than the box indicated because I doubled the recipe and used a larger pan. And to test whether your brownies are done, just take a toothpick and insert it in the center of the pan. If it comes out dry or with some dry crumbs, the brownies are all ready to go. Once your brownies have fully cooled, take a pumpkin-shaped cookie cutter and make jack-o'-lantern shapes out of the brownies. Just be sure to exercise a little bit of caution and patience and be gentle. Depending on how many jack-o'-lantern brownies you make, you'll end up with some brownie crumble leftovers. Don't throw this stuff away. It makes the best sundae topping. Just layer it with some dairy-free ice cream along with some cherries or berries, nuts or seeds or shredded coconut, and you have a decadent ice cream sundae waiting for you. Once you've used your cookie cutters on your brownies, just gently spread the sweet potato frosting across the surface of the brownies. Well, I hope you have a very happy and delicious Halloween, whether you're trick-or-treating, going to a sexy costume party, or just watching scary movies on your couch. No shame in that, that's what Netflix is for. Anyways, if you make one of these recipes, let me know in the comments or find me on Instagram at Rainbow Plant Life. And finally, don't forget to subscribe because I post new videos every week that help you live a healthier and more delicious life. The only thing you have to do is hit that red subscribe button right below. And while you're there, hit that thumbs up button so I know you liked this video. Thanks so much for watching and happy Halloween. Meow.